Rain, relentless icy rain. It painted the city streets in shades of gray, mirroring the turmoil in my soul. My name is Adrian Pierce, and I'm an artist, or at least, I used to be. Now my canvas was life itself, and the colors I wielded were far more sinister. It all started with her, Seraphina, a vision in emerald silk. Her laughter echoed in my studio like a forgotten melody. She was my muse, my obsession, my downfall. Seraphina ignited a fire in my soul, a burning desire that consumed my every thought. I yearned to capture her essence, to possess her beauty on canvas and in my life, but my love, my art, wasn't enough. She belonged to another, a man of wealth and power, a man who could offer her everything I couldn't. Despair turned to rage, a tempest that threatened to break me. Then, an idea took root, a twisted seed sown in the fertile ground of my obsession. I would have her, even if it meant painting our love story in shades of crimson. Seraphina's world was one of opulent soirees and glittering jewels, a world I could only observe from a distance. Yet, I found ways to be near her, to breathe the same air, to catch fleeting glimpses of her radiant smile. I haunted the opera house where she was a patron, my eyes following her every move. I sketched her portrait from memory, each stroke infused with my longing. My obsession grew with each passing day, a monstrous vine that choked out all reason. One evening, as I watched her carriage disappear into the night, I noticed him, Antonov, her fiancé. A man whose cold, calculating eyes seemed to mock my own yearning. He was a collector, they said, with a penchant for the rare and the beautiful. And Seraphina, with her ethereal grace and emerald eyes, was the prize he coveted most. A surge of possessiveness washed over me. I wouldn't let him have her. She was mine, destined to be immortalized on my canvas, her beauty forever entwined with my own. My obsession became a tangible thing, a specter that followed me through the rain-slicked streets. I delved into forbidden texts, ancient grimoires whispered to hold the secrets to life and death. My art took on a macabre quality, my canvases filled with grotesque figures and swirling darkness. I was playing with fire, courting madness, but I no longer cared. I would have Seraphina, even if it meant sacrificing my soul. Then, fate, or perhaps something more sinister, intervened. Antonov, her fiancé, met an untimely end. Found dead in his study, a single crimson rose clutched in his lifeless hand. The city buzzed with rumors of a vengeful spirit, a phantom lover seeking retribution. I feigned shock, horror, but beneath the surface a dark satisfaction bloomed. The path was clear. I would be her savior, her protector, her everything. With Antonov gone, I saw my chance. I infiltrated Seraphina's world, offering solace and support in her time of grief. She was vulnerable, lost in a haze of sorrow, and I, the attentive artist, was there to catch her. I painted her portrait, capturing her fragile beauty on canvas, each brushstroke a prayer, a promise. She was drawn to me, to my intensity, to the way I seemed to understand the depths of her pain. But even in her grief, there was a spark of defiance in her emerald eyes, a strength that both captivated and terrified me. I realized then that possessing her physically wouldn't be enough. I needed her to choose me, to love me with the same consuming passion that burned within me. And so I spun a web of lies, weaving a tapestry of shared dreams and stolen moments, all the while hiding the darkness that festered within my heart. Section 5. Whispers in the Wind. Our lives became intertwined, a macabre dance between obsession and despair. I painted her again and again, each portrait a testament to my love, my madness. The city, however, was not silent. Whispers followed me like shadows, whispers of my strange art. My sudden interest in the occult, my uncanny resemblance to the phantom lover rumored to have slain Antonov. Fear, a cold serpent, coiled in my gut. Could they see through my facade, the carefully constructed mask of normalcy I wore? Seraphina too seemed to notice the change in me, the darkness that clung to me like a shroud. She questioned my nocturnal absences, the strange pungent smells that emanated from my studio. I brushed off her concerns, attributing them to grief and exhaustion, but the seeds of doubt had been sown. Section 6. The Unveiling. The annual Artists' Ball was approaching, a grand affair where the city's elite mingled with the bohemians of the art world. It was the perfect stage to unveil my masterpiece, a portrait of Seraphina so lifelike, so breathtakingly real, that it would cement my place in the annals of history. More importantly, it would be my ultimate declaration of love, a testament to the depths of my devotion. I poured every ounce of my being into the painting, neglecting my health, my sanity, everything except the image that consumed my every waking moment. I saw suspicion in Seraphina's eyes, a flicker of fear that mirrored the growing unease in my own heart. But I pushed those thoughts aside, convincing myself that my masterpiece would erase all doubts, all fears. It would be our redemption, our triumph. Section 7, Twisted Reflections. The night of the ball arrived, a whirlwind of shimmering gowns and forced smiles. I watched from the shadows as Seraphina made her entrance, a vision in black velvet and pearls. Her eyes met mine across the crowded room, and for a moment, I saw a flicker of recognition, of understanding. Or perhaps it was just wishful thinking. The time for the unveiling arrived. A hush fell over the room as I stepped forward, my heart pounding against my ribs. With trembling hands, I pulled back the velvet drape, revealing my masterpiece to the world. Gasps rippled through the crowd, followed by an unnerving silence. But it wasn't the reaction I had hoped for. Instead of awe and admiration, I saw fear, disgust, and a growing sense of horror reflected in their eyes. Section 8, The Color of Guilt. The portrait, my masterpiece, wasn't Seraphina. Or rather it was, but twisted, distorted, a grotesque mockery of her beauty. The face that stared back from the canvas was pale and gaunt, the eyes hollow sockets, the lips pulled back in a silent scream. It was the face of death. My blood ran cold as I realized the truth. My obsession, my madness had seeped into my art, revealing the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. I had become the monster they whispered about, the phantom lover who painted with death. Panicked, I searched for Seraphina, but she was gone. In her place stood Inspector Moreau, his face grim, his eyes filled with a chilling understanding. "It seems our phantom has a face," he said, his voice devoid of warmth. I was trapped, my own art the noose around my neck. Section 9, A Canvas of Lies. The interrogation was a blur of accusations and denials. Moreau presented his evidence, my obsession with Seraphina, my knowledge of the occult, the grotesque nature of my art. He even produced a vial of poison, identical to the one used to kill Antonov, discovered hidden in my studio. I proclaimed my innocence, but my words rang hollow, even to my own ears. They believed I had killed Antonov, driven by jealousy and madness. But there was something they didn't understand, a crucial piece of the puzzle missing. Seraphina. She was the key to everything. I knew she held the truth, but where was she? As the days turned into nights, I clung to the hope that she would appear, that she would somehow clear my name. Section 10, The Final Brushstroke. Then, just when all hope seemed lost, she reappeared. Seraphina walked into the police station, her face pale but resolute. She confessed. It was she who had killed Antonov, not out of love, but out of fear. He was controlling, possessive, and she saw no other way out. As for the poison found in my studio, she had planted it there, framing me for Antonov's murder and her own attempted escape. She had been drawn to me, she said, to my passion, my intensity. But my descent into madness, my grotesque art had terrified her. I had become the monster she had tried to escape. My heart shattered, the pieces scattering like dust on a canvas. Seraphina, my muse, my obsession, had destroyed me in a way I never could have imagined. Section 11, Masterpiece of Madness. I was released, a free man. But what was freedom without Seraphina, without my art, without my sanity? I was a hollow shell, a canvas painted with the remnants of a love that had consumed me entirely. The city that had once celebrated my talent now shunned me, their whispers following me like phantom footsteps. I returned to my studio, the air thick with the scent of turpentine and regret. The portrait of Seraphina, my grotesque masterpiece, still hung on the easel, a constant reminder of my descent into madness. It was then that I realized the truth. I hadn't been a victim of Seraphina's manipulations. I had been the architect of my own downfall, my obsession blinding me to the darkness within myself. I picked up a brush, dipped it in crimson paint, and with a final desperate stroke, I painted over Seraphina's face, replacing her twisted visage with my own.